Hey, Emerald Gamer here, just talking before the video starts, just to give the premise, because I didn't give it in the actual video. I recorded this whole video with no real idea in mind. I was just re-recording it for the sake of redoing it, because I didn't like how I did it the first time. But these are going to be little things that I call Emerald Gamerants, where I just kind of sit on a microphone randomly one day, kind of sporadically, and just talk about stuff, whatever it is. I don't know. Sometimes I have things on my mind. So, yeah, there's that. No real anything other than that. But if you like it and subscribe and share it with a friend. Do all that good stuff, especially if it's something that they would be interested in. For sure. Join us on that journey. All right. I'm going to talk now. Goodbye. Enjoy the video. Hey. What's up? It's your boy, Emerald Game Man. It's pretty late, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't really have this video planned, per se. In fact, I think I recorded it, like, way earlier than what I'm doing it right now, but I can't sleep, and editing that video, as far as audio goes, I kinda hated, I guess. So I didn't really want to release that. So I'm just, plus, I don't know. It was kind of messy and I was all over the place. That's what these are for. It's late. I can't go to sleep. Let's just have a little chat, shall we? I want to talk about some stuff. Right now, you're probably seeing some footage that is a lot less boo-boo, but still kind of boo-boo in a way, of me playing some Tekken. You'll be seeing that I'm getting my ass beat, and I'm beating ass. If you don't post your losses and your wins, you're a fucking chump. That's just me, though. Lately, as of like last year lately, I guess, I've really gotten the spark for Tekken once again. I've always been a fighting game person, right? But I've never really felt like I have ever played a fighting game to a competitive level before, or really tried to learn it on an extreme capacity, except for one time in my life. That was Soul Calibur 5 back in 2011, 2012, somewhere around there. Poor reception. I'd always been a Soul Calibur guy, not really ever a Tekken person. I liked Tekken in a casual sense, like to just kind of pick it up and play it with friends and stuff. But I never really had a whole lot of experience with playing Tekken with other people, let alone just fighting games in general. A lot of people in my friend group growing up really didn't like fighting games at all. In fact, it was almost like pulling teeth trying to get a lot of them to, actually play. So it was kind of lonely up there. And it leads to a lot of wanting competition, which thank God online gaming kind of happened when it did. More readily available, so that way I could do it at least somewhat reliably, minus, some lag. That was really, really awful in hindsight, but, it is what it is. But Tekken, yeah, not a whole lot of experience there. Tekken 8 comes out, flash forward way later, right? I'm already bored of Tekken 7, like, in the last year and a half, maybe 2 years of it being out. I haven't really touched it. I would touch it maybe once a year, maybe. And I remember Tekken 8 coming out, and I told myself, you know what? I'm gonna try and get into this game. I'm gonna see what it's about. And lo and behold, here we are. A year, basically almost 2 years later, we're getting there, right? Trying to get into it. And I was kind of disheartened that Bob wasn't in the game. So I naturally gravitated towards the guy that everyone thinks of when they think of Tekken, at least from an outside perspective. The guy with the fucking jaguar head. King. It's a pretty cool guy. He's Mexican. I'm Mexican. I relate. So other than that, I didn't really care too much for his playstyle or anything. I remember casually never really liking his fighting style or anything. Regardless of how flashy he would seem. For a casual player, pretty high execution, which is not saying a whole lot. If you know Tekken, if you know Ball like that, you know he is not very tough to play at all. He is very simple. But from a casual perspective, it just seemed that way. Mostly just because chain grabs back in the day weren't so crazy hard. Well, they were crazy hard to do. And if you just didn't take the time to go into training and do it, you just weren't doing it unless it was just like pure accident once in a fucking blue moon. It's just how it was. But I remember trying to get into Tekken 8 and really try to learn it. Because, man, let me just say, Tekken 8 and its training mode is so, like, vast. And not only vast, but comprehensive at the same time, right? And very helpful in a lot of ways. Some ways I could see improvement on, but I digress, right? Some ways they're there, but in a lot of ways it is a very digestible training mode that can teach you a shit ton of stuff if you're willing to learn. Now there's the little caveat there, willing to learn, right? I think I was at that point because I really had kind of missed playing fighting games. At that point when Tekken 8 was coming out, there really weren't any fighting games in my life at the moment that I was like super hardcore playing. We did Soul Calibur 3 on the channel, which check out what is there of that playthrough currently. It's currently a member, a ongoing part of Project Time Capsule. Links, all that. Check them out. They're there. Homepage on our channel. You'll figure it out. But I got really into Soul Calibur 3. Again, it's one of my favorite fighting games ever. And I played that a lot within like the gap of time that there was between a fighting game that was newish that was out and, you know, the next one, which happens to be Tekken 8. Honestly, from Tekken 7 to Tekken 8, I played Soul Calibur 3. Not that hard math, right? But I got into it. We all got into it. It was a whole, like, group of us in the group. All the members basically got into it for a bit. And we all just tried our best at it, honestly. And we all just came out of it, well, most of us anyway, came out of it immediately playing better than we were. Now, you might be asking yourself, Emerald Gamer, why are you sitting here at 12:53 a.m., you know, not able to sleep, kind of slightly sweaty, and talking to us about why you like Tekken 8 training mode so much? And my answer to that is, well, we've been, honestly, really happy. We, the Royal we, Emerald Gamer we, right? I've been really happy with Tekken, and how I've been improving steadily and seeing myself, for the first time, pretty much, in my opinion, barring Soul Calibur 5, which was really just, learning that game was just butting your head against the wall, and just learning it really well, and also the benefit that nobody really plays it like that, so you get a lot of easy wins, spoiler alert. But other than that, Tekken 8, seeing myself and like planting myself in that game and really just trying to like dedicatedly learn it and seeing my progress and growth like that in a fighting game, you know, more than just beyond the casual like curiosity or reach, and like actually learning things is really cool. It really kind of opened my like mind, my third eye, the joystick from the fight stick. I don't play on a fight stick. I don't know why I'm using this analogy. It was coming out of my head like a third eye, and I was doing electrics on it. It was crazy. You should have been there, but I just got it. It was the Danny DeVito meme. You know, the I get it now. All of a sudden it just became so clear. It was incredible, right? I absolutely just was blowing myself back every single time that I would come out of like a game or like a play session, whether it be like with the homies or like on ranked or whatever, like coming out of it feeling like I've done better than I've ever done before. And like actually genuinely having a good time with it too. I used to be a pretty angry person back in the day, right? I used to be a pretty mad dude, especially at fighting games. Ultimate Marvel 3 is probably my favorite fighting game of all time, period, bar none. And I used to get so screamingly mad at that video game online that I actually caused collateral damage in my home. Now, I know that's not really exactly an uncommon tale to tell, right? Like, you know, fucking just about like 3 out of 10 fucking people probably do that, but in reality. But it got pretty extreme to the point where I was having like actual chest pains and shit. I think it was also probably the start of having like a pretty bad attitude when it came to just competition in general. Which I wasn't really a competitive player or anything like that when it came to fighting games, like officially, like going to events and stuff like that, or signing up for events online or whatever, as scarce as those were back in the day, to at least get a hold of, especially, you know, if you don't really know where to look. The FGC kind of hides under a rock somewhere, and you just have to kind of flip over the right rock until somebody tells you about it or you find it randomly. It's a lot easier to find groups these days, which, by the way, if you're fighting game curious, more beyond that casual reach, and you want to start playing like something more competitive, I highly suggest you go and find yourself a locals wherever you are. Me personally, like, I have never felt more enjoyment out of going and doing things by myself as an individual, which I don't typically do. I like to do things with the homies. I like to do things with other people. I don't like to do things by myself. That feels lonely. It's always been a thing for me. I don't know why. I can sit on my computer or, you know, play on PlayStation or whatever online by myself just fine, as long as I'm home. But the moment I'm out and about, I just feel the need to be social with people I'm like comfortable with, you know? And maybe other people join in there. That's just how I latch on to people, or other way around sometimes. But yeah, I went to locals one day. This is kind of fast forwarding a little bit. Again, there's no real organization to this. In the first time I even did this, I just, you know, I'm going. It's a rant, right? Went to locals. Decided to go to locals for the very, very first time. I think it must have been like 2 months ago now. Something like that. 2 or 3. Probably more like 3 months ago now. And I met some incredible people there. If you guys in the community at locals are watching this, you know who you are. I'm not trying to say names or whatever, but you know who you are. If you're watching this, if this somehow reaches you, I just want to let you guys know you guys have been like the most welcoming community I think I've ever been a part of ever in my entire life, which is awesome. You guys are great. Can't wait to keep playing alongside you guys, and you know, play whatever, you know, comes out, or whatever dumb mystery bracket we decide to do. And I've learned a lot from y'all. It's been crazy. So yeah, giving the locals homies flowers, you know. It's been crazy. Which, if you just noticed, it's talking about competitive and competition. Going back to like competitive stuff, right? As a kid, I grew up being a very competitive person. I played baseball like when I was pretty young, all the way up until I was like, you know, like mid-teen, somewhere in there. And in between that, I was always into like card games. Granted, I was pretty fucking terrible at them at the time, but I don't know a single kid that isn't terrible at card games, if I'm being real. Without like some sort of coaching or whatever, by like someone who actually knows what they're doing, rather than just kind of guessing. But fighting games was always kind of a gap. At the time when I was raging and throwing my chair at the boiler room door, because of Ultimate Marvel 3, I was a competitive Pokemon player, basically. I played competitive Pokemon VGC specifically. I've kind of played the TCG a little bit, but that got real toxic real quick for more reasons than just the game. And that's another story for another time, maybe. But I played Pokemon VGC competitively from effectively like 2012, 2013 to 2018 probably was my last like actual entry. And during that time, I had a blast. But I always found myself kind of falling short, because I am more of a creatively playing player rather than someone who wants to... I'd rather fuck around, right? Like, I'm the kind of person who wants to fuck around and still somehow win. And that would honestly make me angry. Now, you might be wondering, again, why the fuck are you trying to be competitive and also fuck around at the same time? And the answer is, it's kind of hard to find people to play casually at or with in that game. I don't want to sit there on Showdown for hours on end and just play a bunch of strangers. I want to play the homies. I want to do a playthrough, like a joint playthrough with like 8 different people, and then all beat the game, and then do a tournament and not follow through. You know, I want to follow through on that, and we all have fun, and then we kind of just go yay, and then that's it. But competitive was the answer for me to find people to play locally, and just like kind of grow like a rivalry with. Granted, it never worked out that way ever. But it was always something I was kind of chasing, and, well, I guess shout out to the homie Sam for, at least humoring me and joining me with the, while being on a competitive team. I appreciate that for sure. But after about 2018, I kind of stopped being competitive. I got back into Yu-Gi-Oh! At the time. It's still probably one of my hobbies of all time. Wouldn't say greatest, but because I don't have very many. But that's probably one of the only things I would consider to be a true hobby. But it's more of a casual thing, really. I'll enter like local tournaments and stuff like that, but I'm really not interested in like traveling to a regional or a YCS. If you know ball, you know ball, right? Like, this video ain't even about that. You see the video title. What the fuck am I talking about? It'd be nice to travel, at least like one time for the experience, but I digress. That's like that with anything competitive, right? But flash forward again, you know, we're getting into Tekken 8, we're learning about a lot of Tekken 8, and then the end of Season 1 drops, Clive Rossfield from Final Fantasy 16, and I'm like, oh boy, another Final Fantasy character in a Tekken game for the second game in a row. Wow. That's crazy. Anyway, I haven't played Tekken in like 3 months, said me in February the following year, which kind of I found myself confused. I learned, and I got better and better, but I just, for some reason, plateaued, I guess, to say the least. There was only so much I could do by myself. There's only so much growth I could do without somebody, without the eyes of somebody else, right? And it was kind of hard to accept that, but a couple, you know, a month or so down the road, probably more like 2 or 3 months after that, after I started picking up the game slightly again, I remember seeing a flyer at my local game store for locals. I always knew they played like Smash Brothers and stuff like that, which I did have a very, I guess now I mention it, I did have a very small competitive Smash record, if you will, on Smash Ultimate around the time that came out. But I don't really count that. I only went to like 3 or 4 tournaments total, and after that I kind of just got bored with the game. I don't know. I think I'm all smashed out, people. I'm all smashed out. You guys don't really see that on this channel at all, but that's kind of part of it. Like, I don't really like to do or really play Smash anymore all that much. I think it's fun to casually boot up and play every now and then, but I don't think it's really something that's ever going to gravitate my attention, mostly because of Nintendo's terrible online. But, you know, I digress, whatever. Well, you know, it be what it be, right? It be what it be. But Tekken 8, I saw that flyer. I knew that they did Smash at my local game stores, but I never knew they did like a whole bunch of other fighting game stuff. And I'm pretty hesitant to join up on things like that because I know in my heart of hearts, right, like deep down, I know for a fact I get lonely. I don't like to do things by myself. You know, wham, get over it, right? But I don't know. It's just I know the homies, and I know that they ain't really competitive like that. Not really. So it kind of deterred me from joining. So I mulled on it for like, mulled on it? What does that even mean? I chewed on it. I thought about it for like 2 weeks, and I don't know. There was something about me that just said, fuck it, I'll join the Discord. I'll see what it's about. It's a local community. If anything, I can join it and just lurk in it forever and just see what kind of things are going on and just wonder, right? So I joined, I got in, and man, it was like I blinked and I was there the next following week that they did it. I was there and I was meeting so many people, and like I was immediately introduced to like a whole, like basically like a whole small mob of people. Maybe a regular sized mob of people, depending on like what your definition of a mob is. But like a whole mob of people of like, hey, here's this dude. He's brand new. Beat this dude's ass. And it was like in the most like loving way possible. It was like getting jumped in to like a gang. But instead of doing like dangerous, violent things, we press buttons, and sometimes someone gets a wrist injury or whatever from using their hitbox wrong, or whatever. I don't know. I don't use a hitbox. I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't use a fight stick. I don't use a hitbox. I'm just on controller, y'all. That's my secret. That's my secret, Captain. Some people would say that's why I'm bad, but I would, again, conversations for later. Other videos, other rants, right? I got jumped in. We played for like, I played Tekken 8 for like 6 hours consecutively that day, I think. Something like that. And in that 6 hours, I think I absorbed and gained and was told more helpful in like info on how to just immediately be better at playing King, and just, I guess, better at the game in general, than I had the entire like 120 plus hours I had on Tekken 8 at the time. And as of right now, I'm competitive in something again. Again, you may ask yourself, remember the gamer, go to bed. And, well, one, I'm going to tell you, don't tell a grown man to go to bed ever again in your life. And two, you're going to ask, so why are you making this video? And I'm going to say, as of right now, I've been, as of this recording, I have participated in 4 tournaments, technically now. In that time, I have lost so awfully terribly that it's not even funny. That most people would probably just quit and never come back. I am not most people. I am not a quitter, and I'm not a baby. So I'm using every opportunity, even though I'm getting my ass beat, to learn. And that attitude has actually landed me at decent placings locally and at an online tournament, which I'll get to here in a second, pretty well, honestly. So my first tournament was at locals, got stomped. Second tournament I ever participated in was a tournament called Summer Slugfest. I almost said Summer Slam Fest. That's a completely different thing. But Summer Slugfest, done by Alphix, I believe is how you say the name. I'm sorry, I'm bad at names. I should be better. But Alphix, his Summer Slugfest is like a thing that he ran, I think last year, and Just a Peanuts extended an invite to me. Not that it was really like a invitational only or whatever, but I wouldn't have known about it unless he let me know about it. So shout out to Peanuts there, aka Diamond Gamer, one of the members looking out. Right, I played in, and also again, shout out to Alphix for that. Their community is like just spot on, like just the coolest shit I like ever. Right, I'm there 100%, and I 100% like thank the opportunity for being able to play in that, because I didn't know anybody except for Peanuts, really. I'm only kind of adjacent to his community and people that he's kind of related with. I'm bad at networking. Shoot me. What are you, cop? I don't know. I need to get better at it. It's like I need to get better at fighting games. I placed 4th place in that tournament, going from dead last in the first one to 4th place in this one. Granted, it was different competition, but still pretty good competition. More than fair. I go to locals the next following week, and I enter my 3rd tournament. That tournament was the week, or sorry, that was the week of, not the week before, but the week of EVO this year. And we had a lot of people going. I think we had like 3 or 4 people at locals go to EVO this year for Tekken and whatever else, right? And they were gone, so we still ran a tourney because they had to prepare / already be there and stuff like that. I topped 8, got 7th place in that tournament, and man, oh man, did I feel like, I felt like there was something there for a moment. I felt like actual like competitive pride. You know, I didn't fuck around. I didn't lose. I didn't like make myself lose, right? I didn't put myself in a position that's like a losing one. I put myself in a winning one, and I got there because of the work that I've done, right? That's where I'm at. Got top 8, 7th place, not bad, right? So there's a lot of really tough comp at my locals, so I will take that win. And then the 4th tournament, the most recent one, I got absolutely just 100% stomped once again. So, you know, what was there really learned? A lot of things. And one of those things is that you're always going to be learning, and that it is what it is. And there's always going to be something new that comes up that completely stomps you out, and you're not going to know what to do about it until it's already over. And sometimes you just have to take that L. You can do everything right and still lose sometimes, you know. That's just how it be. Again, why am I here? Why am I making this video, right? I didn't really answer that part. And I think the answer is, out of however long I've already been ranting for this point, which I think is pretty funny to roll around the point until the end of the video, or the main point anyway. It's like a video essay without an opening statement, right? But basically, what I'm trying to say is, I'm competitive in something. I don't know if you care or not. I do. I'm having fun. But the main point is, it feels nice to be competitive in something, and I felt like for a long time, I was kind of scared of competition. I still kind of am. I have like nervous shakes when I go and play against people at locals that I've sat and played with for, you know, hours at a time, or at least once, you know. But for the most part, I struggle still with competition. I feel like I have performance anxiety in some shape or form, which you might find a little bit confusing, considering I'm a guy who, if you know me, has talked in front of a camera or microphone, whatever, for 10 years now. And that something like this doesn't give me like, ooh, I'm nervous, because I've done it for so long. But for some reason, competing with stakes specifically, that just does something to my brain that makes me want to become a roly-poly and just like kind of like hide in the turtle shell, whatever. And I don't know what it is, but I really try to fight it, and I've been working on it. That's been like my biggest thing, is performance anxiety. That's what I've been really working on. If anything else, it's not really the gameplay or fundamentals or anything. We're playing the mental battle now. I am having a blast. It is like one of the funnest activities I do every other week, for the most part, and whenever I can, mostly. And it feels really, really good, and I can't help but just enjoy it no matter what, even if I come out of it just like absolutely thrashed by some dude on the cheater box. It's not a cheater box, guys. It's really not. Controller preference does not matter. It really does, as long as it's literally not a cheating button on there, like a turbo or whatever. Honestly, sometimes even turbo doesn't even, whatever. I'm getting off track. But anyway, my point is, I'm having so much fun being competitive. I feel like I need to talk about it, and it's something that's like something that I feel like some people need to hear out there, right? If you yourself are someone who feels like they have a passion for something, no matter what it is, it could be just about anything. If it has some sort of competitive value, and even if you don't necessarily see competitive value in it, but you see a passion for what you're doing, whatever activity it is, you know, I highly recommend you go and chase and seek out a community that's going to relate, at the very least. I'm not saying go out and like be competitive or do nothing. Be competitive or be filthy casual for the rest of your life. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying go and do what you want out there with the thing that you are the most passionate about, or something that you've even always wanted to do, and maybe you're not the most passionate about it, but you're curious about it, right? Go and do those things. It's important. It's really good. It's just really good for you. That's just how I see it now. You're not like, be the change that you want to create, right? That's what it is. Oh, we're getting motivational now. Wow, I unsubscribe. Crazy. No, but it's something I always kind of wanted, but I always felt like there was a barrier between me being competitive in something again and me like enjoying something truly, like in the way that I do now. And I see it. There's disappointing moments for sure, but I wouldn't say it's anything that deters me or makes me wish that I never did it. And that's where I'm at. So please, if you're even thinking about it, if this somehow is reaching you in however long this video is, because I'm sure something will get cut out. But if you're listening to this and it's like late or sometime in the afternoon on your lunch break, or something that you just saw when you woke up and you look on your phone and you're hearing this, go out and do the thing you want to do. If it's being competitive in something like a fighting game or like a card game or a sport or something, or like a martial art, go and do those things. It'll be good for your confidence, or if you need that, it'll be good for a lot of things. Your enjoyment, overall sense of community, whatever. Go out, meet people, have a good time. You won't regret it. Even if you're not really like a social person, I feel like I see the most, as far as what I could perceive, the most not social people be the most social in those kinds of environments. And that shit is just fucking living proof of what I'm talking about. Like, it doesn't matter like what your personality is for the most part, unless you're a shithead, then go home, stay home, who cares, right? But like, nah, go and do the things you want to do and like enjoy it and find a community. It's really about finding a community, but at the end of the day, more specifically, I guess, competitively, just try it, just smell it, you know, maybe you'll enjoy it, right? Maybe you'll enjoy it like me. I feel like I've found a community that I can always kind of go to, barring, you know, if I have the time or whatever, I can always go to and not only get advice, but just a genuine good time for, you know, quite a few hours, honestly, every week if I really wanted to. And that means a lot, honestly. It is awesome, dude. It is awesome. I think I got my rant out of my system. Thanks for listening, guys. I don't know what possessed me to initially record that first video, other than just truly being something I really wanted to talk about and use my channel as a very small soapbox, to sit and talk about, like, just things about me, your boy. You get to learn about your boy. Not that anyone cares, probably. And you get to, you know, maybe gain some insight on something if it's something you're seeking out as well. So, that's it. I'll see you guys later, or